So let's have a look at this other generator called generator rest. And just scrolling to the documentation here first, he has a video to explain how it works. He explains a bit about the features he has available, like passwords, like social logins, Facebook, Google, GitHub. So a lot of things have already been set up for us. He has how we install it, and since we already have Yeoman, we don't have to install that. So let's just get going here. Let me just try and shut down the current REST API, and let's make a new one here. So I'll just go back to his guide here, step 1. Now notice, since we're already up and running with this, we just have to add this new npm install where we actually install the generator. I'll just do that, and while that runs, these are the commands we have to run to actually start building our REST API. And just on a note from one of the previous videos, you actually here can set up new API routes with a command, where before we had to manually copy everything, he actually made it available for us with an extra yo command that you can set up endpoints later inside your project if you want to. We'll do that later. But all I have to do is actually just run this yo rest command as the final step. So the installation is done. It took a bit of time. We're talking minutes. And these are all the plugins that it actually added for me. There's a lot in there. And it means that now we can make our first REST API. So first of all, whenever I make something new, I said this before, I always start out by making a new directory. So let's just make this, call this REST test, something like this. And I'll go into REST test. There we go. And then I'll paste in the yo rest command. Now that command is from here, right after the installation. He says just run yo rest and it'll figure out the rest for you. So let's try and fire this command and see what happens. Now this command is available now because I just installed the generator. That's why this yo rest command is available. Now this guy has kind of a very slick way to get started because it pops up here. What do you want to call your project? Let's just keep the default name. Where do you want to put your source code? Now inside Angular 2, for instance, we started using the source folder for our source code, so let's just keep it in there. Where do you want to put the API code? Inside source/API. Yeah, sure. Where do you want production SSL? You should do that for a live environment. You should put in SSL here. But this is just for testing, so I'll just keep no. I don't want SSL certificates up and running. Do you want to generate authentication? Yes, please. And again, the default is yes, so I can just press enter. But I'll just add a Y here to show you. Do you want Facebook? Yeah. Do you want... Yeah. I want it all. Just for the fun of it. I'll press enter. Twitter is coming soon. And the last one, do you want to use send grid to reset your password? I haven't tested that, so I'll say no. I'm not even sure what it does. So we'll have to read on that later if you want to. Now it generates the setup for me. It runs npm install to get all the packages it requires. We'll just let this run. In the next video we'll see what it actually generated for us. So see you in the next lesson where we'll try to actually open the project and have a look what's in there. Have fun.